Legend FC2. It's time for the co-main event, continuing the theme of Australia versus Korea. It's Matt Cain versus Bae Myung. So looking at the tail of the tape, Vaughan, real maturity about Matt Cain. What's Bae got to offer?
Well, Bae is really well-rounded. He's training, of course, with the team I have so much respect for. Don't count him out.
So it's a familiar theme, Australia versus Korea on this night of nights, Legend Fighting Championship 2. Matt Cain from Australia taking on Bae Myung from Korea.
Cain with a very impressive submission victory in Legend 1. Of course, Bae getting the Submission of the Night award. Cain believes maybe it was his submission that should have taken this award. He's got something to prove tonight.
Cain with an ugly knee bar victory there over the Thai. The Korean beating the Japanese Watanabe by a triangle choke and being deemed the submission of the night. So really something to prove here for both fighters. A little bit of showmanship before the bell.
Now he's got...
Bae really well muscled for an MMA fighter, yeah?
Bae is the teammate of the first Korean UFC fighter, Kim Dong-hun. Not good for Cain, a great takedown. Cain trapped here in the corner too. It's really difficult to get off your back when you're here close to the ropes in the corner like that.
Side control from Bae. Oh, we're gonna reset. Surprised by that?
Well, it's lucky for Cain. I think if Bae would have pushed the pace a bit more and thrown some hard punches from the bottom, they would have kept it going.
As you mentioned, Kim Dong-hyun, the UFC fighter from Korea. Bae's been sparring with him and never had a submission. Oh.
Love those knees to the body.
The coach says if he submits Kim, he'll get 6 months off. So something to look forward to in the in the gym.
Oh, big knee to the head. Cain can't take any of those.
It's hard to believe he's weighed in at 77 kilos because he's traveling a bit heavier than that now, surely.
Definitely. Bae is one of those Korean fighters that fights about 8 or 9 kilos heavier than he weighs in at. Ooh. Brutal shots to the floating ribs with those knees.
Cain taking some punishment in the first couple of minutes of this round.
Alternating between ribs and head with those knees.
Cain actually born in New Zealand, moved to Australia when he was 10. So neither a Kiwi or an Aussie, perhaps a Quasi. Looks like Quasimodo on top of Cain at the moment though. Bae's really dominant.
Cain really has to make a move. He has to look for guard recovery or a reversal. He can't sit there and take those knees like that. He won't have any gas in the second round.
Well, he's won 9 of his victories, for 5 of them from submission, so he needs to get out of this position. Oh, that must be hurting. Don't forget, if you're enjoying this, Legend FC3 in September. You can buy your tickets. Visit the website, legendfc.com. You can get all the information on the fighters. Great website. I really recommend a visit there. As we're in this clinch, the referee calls for a bit of action here.
Cain really unable to move here on the bottom. There's such great positional dominance shown here by Bae.
And gravity really is your friend in this position, isn't it, in the side control?
Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah. I think he was putting on a bit of a clinic there.
Yeah.
Cain gets a break.
Korean working the Australian over at this stage. Cain will probably look to keep this up.
Well, Cain looking to prove that he's the more dominant grappler, but so far in this fight, it's been all Bae.
Of course, coming up next, another Aussie-Korean clash, Adrian Pang.
Ooh.
Oh, Yu Woo-sung
Good exchanges there.
for the lightweight championship belt. Plenty to look forward to.
Oh! Good work on Cain to dodge that kick. Bae shows respect.
His nickname's Wolverine. He thought Hugh Jackman was too handsome. And Cain bears a bit of a resemblance to Hugh Jackman too, an Aussie as well. Probably take it out on him as we enter the last stanza of round one. Cain feints.
Both fighters landing good punches, but no combinations thrown, really. It's all been single blows, and they've given their opponent a chance to recover.
And Bae's really got Cain's kicking covered, hasn't he? Last seconds of round one.
Ooh, that looked a bit low, that knee.
Bae getting inside Cain. That'll be the end of round one. Well, we've seen some great action. The first round of this 77-kilo clash between Cain and Bae, but you'd have to give the first round there to the Korean-born.
Definitely.
As we start round two. Cain's got to find some holes in Bae's approach here.
Kick check by Bae.
Bae having a really tough life when he was a kid. Lost his brother at 17, his mum from cancer 3 years later. And then joined Team Mad. Really gave him a new sense of spirit and purpose. And, wow, it's manifesting itself here in the ring. Any anger and despair he may have suffered, really getting it out and using Cain literally as a punching bag. Cain getting in with some leg. But Bae trying to move to that side control again.
Cain really can't stay on the bottom again for the second round.
Cain actually has some American Indian blood in him. That's how he got his nickname, the Rolling Bear. Loves it on the ground in Australia, but not having much fun here in Hong Kong.
The only fight Bae will lose is to his girlfriend.
Yeah, well, she's famous fighter Ham Seo Hee. They call her Hamdalay Silva, and she's, to a degree, more famous than him.
Mike, I just want to point something out here. Right now, Bae is in the half guard position. Now in grappling, this sort of favors Cain. But in MMA, when you can fire down punches, it's really not to the bottom player's advantage. Oh, good work for Cain to pull up. But he's caught in a choke.
Cain's in trouble.
He can still finish it here.
They're really trying to set this choke.
Oh. They'll start standing, I believe.
Yeah, lost chance there from Bae. Had the guillotine going on Cain. Looks a little groggy too, or has he just lost his balance on the ropes? Give him the benefit of the doubt. If you were Cain in this position, how would you go about redressing the balance in this fight?
Well, I think Cain's best bet is to fight for the takedown. He's not going for the takedown. He's trying to stand up and bang, where I think that Bae is better. When Bae closes the distance, he is the one taking Cain down and staying on top. So far, we haven't seen really Cain on top on the ground.
Bae's been really experienced hitting the road. He's fought in Dream, M1, Spirit MC. He's got Korean national titles in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Sanda. As he goes on the attack again to Cain. And this Bae is scary. Really physical. What a menacing position he's got himself in there in the corner, Cain.
Cain needs to be careful. Here he is, back on his feet. That's good.
Good work from the ref there. Bunting them back into the middle.
Look how relaxed Bae looks.
Yeah, he's got a real swagger to him, hasn't he? Really confident. Has a record of 11-5, so he's suffered his losses over the years.
Here we go. This is what Cain needs to be doing. He's looking for the takedown. Can he do it?
I haven't really seen any slams.
Ooh, toe stomp. I like it.
I've seen some outrageous looks from Cain over the years too. I've seen some pink hair on his head fighting. Gone for the more straight approach tonight.
Cain needs to be careful not to back himself into the corner like this.
He's annoyed with himself, rolling his eyes there. But it's Groundhog Day for Bae. Cain, a former Australian welterweight champion, taking some punishment here. Just feel the momentum of the fight, always balancing towards Bae.
Ooh, big knee to the body.
Bae just holding on as we approach the end of round 2 here.
Oh, he's got his head. He's got his head. Can he finish it?
Oh, turn around here for the Australian.
5 seconds left.
Oh! No, he's held on.
Wow, what a surprise.
Brave work from the Korean. There was a good comeback at the end of round 2 from the Aussie. What a battler, Matt Cain. But he just couldn't finish in time for the bell ringing. And Bae really holding out. But he's been dominant in the first 2 rounds of this fight.
Let's take a look at the replay.
The Korean really on top of the Australian from the get-go.
Bae really not giving Cain any chance to breathe. You see Cain landed that kick, but right away, Bae was there with the takedown, controlling on top, really giving him a beat down. Knees to the head, knees to the ribs, controlling the wrestling. It's really been Bae's fight up until
the second round. Cain coming back with a good choke opportunity, but Bae showing his experience there, just holding on. He knew it was in the last seconds. Respect from the 2 fighters as they go to round 3. 5 minutes left of this fight. Cain really needs to use that momentum from the end of the second round.
Ooh.
Nice welcome kick there from the Korean.
I'd like to see more circling from Cain. I think he backs himself into the corner, into the ropes like this, and gets himself into trouble.
Using a bit more body movement. Bae just focusing. Every move covered at the moment from the Korean. Oh, good punch as the beads of sweat land on our commentary position. Some real work going in there. Cain turning it around. Korean trying to get, Cain's got an opportunity here, but Bae has the balance.
I'd really like to see Cain get the takedown and see what he's got from the top position on the ground.
Well, it's through no lack of effort. Look at his face.
He's got to watch he doesn't get caught in a choke with his head so low like that.
Bae must be walking around at about 85 kilos now, so it's not an easy task to get him up off the ground. Really strong on his feet, the Korean. Almost, like he's taking a rest, although that hurt. 3 minutes left of this fight. The Aussie trying to get against the tide. Now it's Bae who lifts and slams, and that's spine jarring for the Australian. That must have hurt.
Guillotine attempt and he's free.
The Wolverine showing his claws there, picking the Aussie up and slamming him to the ground.
What we saw in an earlier fight where it was Australia versus Korea, Rob Hill sort of taking a break when he was when he felt that he was ahead, and then he ended up losing the decision. Bae better not make that same mistake.
Yeah, 2 minutes left of this fight. As Bae gets some handy punches in there. Cain trying to get his guard together. Yeah.
Elbow from Bae.
Really strong, this Korean. He's fought all over the place. He's fought in Korea, Japan, Russia, now in Hong Kong at Legend FC2. Fought the first 2 championships we've had here.
Even Cain expects it to start on the ground. I think he's getting a break here from the referee.
Well, he's got minimal time to work with Cain if he wants to come back here.
So far, I have to give the whole fight, all rounds so far, to Bae. Cain really needs to do something spectacular to win the decision. Still no takedowns from Cain.
Well, Cain's a builder by trade. He's going to have to start hammering some nails into Bae here in the last 1 minute of this fight, because the framework for his fight hasn't been strong. He'll have to show something spectacular.
Ooh. Big knees, big knees.
Oh.
Cain's in trouble.
Yeah, they are really sucking the juice out of Matt Cain.
Ooh, good low kick. It's not going to be enough, though. Cain really needs to be careful now. He sees he's got his hands really low and his mouth is open. He's tired. He makes him really vulnerable. High kick. Oh, exactly, just like that.
Yeah, Bae's reading the situation well. Into the last 30 seconds. Has the Korean done enough? You'd expect so against this brave Matt Cain from Australia. Oh, he doesn't want to go down and get slammed again, that's for sure.
Well, let's not count Cain out yet. Look,
yep.
Every time Bae goes for the leg takedowns, Cain's always looking to wrap up the guillotine.
Yeah, not working with much time here, though. Looks like time ticked off for Matt Cain. It's the Korean. Purely dominant by the looks of it at the fight, but let's check with the judges after the break on Legend.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. 經過3個回合之後，我哋以台下評判分數決定勝負。Judge Derek Ma scores the contest 29-28. 評判 Derek Ma 俾29-28分。Judge Doug Petersa scores the contest 30-27. 評判 Doug Petersa 俾30-27分。Judge Yong Ka Wei scores the contest 30-27. 評判 Yong Ka Wei 俾30-27分。以一致決定而勝出嘅係 for the winner by unanimous decision, Bae Myung.
No surprises there, Mike.
Yeah, dominant victory there from Bae Myung.